What's good, everybody? Welcome. This is Nerd Mafia, and if you're here, welcome to the family. Today is my first video in just about 2 weeks. Let's get some lame music in here for now, because that's all we got. Hope that'll do. It's a little fast, a little weird. Is it working, Daniel Fisher? I see you trying the Discord. Let me try it. Hey! Streambot is working. By the way, we just set up a new Discord server, and you can go check it out. You can go hang with all the nerd mob in that server. You can bash Fredo all you want for free. You can level up kind of meaninglessly and then yell at Fredo for it happening. Basically, you can do a whole lot of yelling at Fredo. But anyway, let me get to my point. Tonight, what I'm here for, why I'm streaming, is I missed a whole lot of stuff going on. So, I mean, first off, we just had an epic bingeable series just kind of come to its conclusion of the 4th season, and that would be Stranger Things. And Daniel Fisher, I think you're my only viewer right now, and you said you can't be watching this right now. So, yeah. What am I going to do, Daniel Fisher? I'll get you a little sign to come back in. How about this? Just for the homie. Once, let's see. You still here? Can you mute it for a few? I'll let you know. Hold up. I'm going to give you a symbol. So, when I'm done talking about it, I'll flash this guy on screen so you can unmute. All right? All right. So anyway, now's the time to mute if you don't want to hear anything about Stranger Things. So the deal is, I mean, first off, if you've watched the show at all, that just so many 80s vibes. Loving that feeling. I mean, with Top Gun and that out at the same time, we're right back in 1986 right now. That's cool all the way around. Even for me, been in the military, I'm seeing like the old like Army Air Force uniforms, the woodland camos being rocked in that. Everything's legit. It was fun to go back in that era. Secondly, and I'm gonna come back to this character later, but so happy that Steve is still alive. Trying to protect Daniel Fisher right now. Hope you guys still heard it. All right. But the character that I want to talk about, and what up, MCU OG? The character I want to talk about is my man, Eddie Munson. This dude, was the MVP of this season. So much fun to have on this in this season. Just the whole Club Hellfire thing just being ridiculous as it is. This dude's in high school for how many years? Just not gonna graduate ever, unfortunately. But honestly, I think the gap that they did in between part 1 and part 2 made this guy even more of a hero, because it got people more time to actually think on what they just saw about him, especially the people that binged it straight up right away. Exactly, OG. Fun as hell. Nice. And usually you get an addition to a show like this, and you're like, nah, this is cool as hell. Just even from last season to where this guy's a jack of all trades. He's just a loser, can't graduate high school, pushing some weed, running a D&D club, to getting the lead cheerleader killed, basically. Yeah, guy was just fun, and it was another character for Dustin to look up to. It was just fun, man. The long hair thing kind of reminded me of Airheads. He's hilariously the only one really rocking that haircut in the whole show. I mean, I guess you could say Mike and Dustin a little bit, but nothing like that. They're not looking like rock stars. What up, B. Grissom? We talking some Eddie, my favorite dude in the show, and actually read an awesome theory from somebody online about this guy. So all the characters, all the villains in this show are loosely based off of D&D characters, right? I'm not a big D&D guy. So what I'm about to talk about is definitely coming like third hand, fourth hand, just from like a post I read in a meme. But there is a character in D&D that actually ends up being like the right hand man of Vecna after he's bitten by bats, and he becomes a vampire. Ends up turning on Vecna later. Now with Eddie chilling in the Upside Down right now, just got some bat bites. Did we fully see a dead body? And if we did, we just saw the air go out of him for a minute. So maybe there's more of Eddie to come. Maybe they're gonna just see how much people like him. Could put it out there, you know. Vecna can't do this all on his own. We already saw that. I mean, he did kind of ruin Hawkins for the rest of us. But just something interesting I saw out there. Let me know what you guys think of that theory in the chat. Is Eddie gonna be coming back as a little vampire guy? Is that gonna happen? Or am I just reading into some horse shit? You let me know. But moving on from Eddie, our next victim pretty much this season was Max. And I'm honestly kind of surprised how far they went with her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Grissom. I'm kind of surprised how far they went with Max. When those arms broke, oh my God. I got flashbacks of just watching like Ed McCaffrey break his knee on Monday Night Football when I was a kid. Whew. The heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. But anyway, she gets done dirty a little bit. We're not even sure if she's all there anymore. Elle can't even get into her mind. And yeah, it's rough. It's rough for the girl Maxine. OG thinks he's not going to be back. It is a cool theory. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. Feel for my man Lucas. You know, he's putting it all together. We'll talk a little bit about him soon, too. Because first off, how much of a psychopath is this Jason Carver guy? And by him, I'm talking about the lead, the basketball team captain, who's just going on this crusade against Dungeons and Dragons in the 80s. Like, I was born in 85. I can't testify to like how against parents might have been to Dungeons and Dragons. Like, again, never really personally played myself. I know a lot of people into that, especially a lot of you nerds. So forgive me. It sounds pretty cool. Sounds really time consuming though too. That's just unfortunately something I don't got a lot of. But Lucas puts a smackdown on this guy. He takes his licks, but he's like Rocky, man. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's how many times you can get hit and keep on fighting. Lucas comes back in that fight, although not soon enough to stop Max from floating and arms breaking, you know, but knocks dude the hell out to the point where he ultimately gets chopped up by that volcanoous earthquake that we got and doesn't even did he even move when that happens? The 30-year-old high school basketball cat. Your parents wouldn't, so that was a thing then. I figured it probably was. I just wasn't I'm not knowledgeable about that at all. So I'm having to do a little research every time they start getting into D&D characters, but it is what it is. Moving on from that, of course, we got to talk about Hopper. And it's funny, OG, I saw you in Discord say he picks up the Conan sword because my notes literally say Hopper equal Conan ? But yeah, he picks up the blade or sword. It's kind of like not as big as a Conan sword, maybe like half as big when you're really looking at it. So I don't think Hopper's that big, but valiantly picks up a sword to fight off a Demogorgon that had been left in the ring from the past season when they're all fighting, putting those two dots together. And it was awesome, but it took me out of it for like a split second. I'm like, come on, man, what are we doing here? We're in a sword fight now? But I liked it. I'm not bashing it. It took me out for a split second. It took me out of it, and then I thought it was great. We're breezing through this quick too, but anyway, the other thing I was thinking about with this series is Will Byers. something shady about this guy in this last season, and maybe even the season before that too. Like the whole scenario with him being jealous of Mike, all that seems just kind of detached to begin with. I mean, anybody rocking that kind of haircut just seems a little detached. Like, I realize it's the 80s, and look, in the early 90s, I had a similar haircut, but it did not look that bad. First off, you had to get the sides way shorter with that haircut, and then you wanted like the length, you know. So he was going through this awkward period, but it looks like he had that haircut for a while, so almost like he wanted that toadstool look going on. So lot of sus stuff going on with Will just at that point. But then we're back to the neck goosebumps coming out of Will. You know, he can feel Vecna's presence. So we got Max's mind lost in space. Elle can't even find it, but she's not even looking at Will. Part of me wants to say, like, is Will have like some kind of deeper connection to this whole upside down than we ever would have thought. And by the way, guys, if this music is too loud, let me know. I'll turn it down a little bit. It's definitely in my ear. But anyway, remember too, if you're just jumping in, we do have a new Discord channel. I just want to let everybody know so you can come jump in there, get notified to everything we're doing, and just have a cool place to hang out and talk pretty much anything that's going to be coming out. I've got a channel set up for all of them in that server, so we can have some spoiler discussion. You can do some spoiler-free discussion just in the general section. We got the bot Fredo, you know, putting down his authority, getting some redemption for how it went down in his trilogy. It's a good time. Come by, and we'll also put you on to some of the YouTubers that I follow and I collab with, and when they're putting out some stuff. What up, Kendall? Like this man too. You come and join my Discord. You will never miss another Normandy Nerds stream or video. Promise that. B. Grifsum saying here, Will is my guy. I hear a lot of people think he came out in that scene. Think he came out? I don't think he came out. I heard that flow too. I don't think so. But I do think maybe there's a little evil in Will. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's because my son's name is Will too. I see a little evil in him. I'm just saying, I got some sus vibes coming out of Will Byers, man. Some sus vibes. Not sure what's gonna happen there. So, beyond my Will Byers suspicions, basically, let's talk about Hawkins for a second, right? Spot is like ground zero right now, like wrecked. Like they're coming back with the surf and pizza van, and everybody's leaving. It was reminiscent of Independence Day when they're driving down to DC and everybody's on a line the opposite way. You know, I mean, season 5's got to be like a immediate continuation of that, I would think. Or are we gonna get like half the season them like talking about rebuilding? Is it gonna be like post blip talk? Or are they gonna avoid all that and just do right away? That's where my head kind of went there. And it also, like, at the conclusion, we pretty much get to the point where we realize that Henry/1/Vecna has been that dude all along, unless they want us to think that because Will Byers really had something to go with. But anyway, that's my feels on Stranger Things. I'm sure I can probably go off on way more tangents too, but let me know what you guys think. Come at me in my Discord, hit me up with some more stuff, and I'll have more ammo to talk here about it. I'm sure we'll get back into it at some point. But let's talk about and we'll let Dan on top know he can come back in and unmute real quick. All right, we good, Dan? You good to come back? Let me know you're good in the comments. That was the bat signal. Let them know spoiler talk on Stranger Things is over. But moving on from Stranger Things, because I know a lot of people might not have watched it, especially Dan watching it with the wifey. Let's talk about Miss Marvel, man, because I really don't think this show is getting its due. You know, a lot of people not liking. You get into this like first episode, and it's very clear that it's a kid's show, right? But it gets better and better every single episode after that. Like episode 2, way better than the first one. Episode 3 got a little deeper. Episode 4 got even deeper. They go into Pakistan. Episode 5, we get the whole backstory of Miss Marvel's family. And honestly, this last episode, amazing. But I'm still left with so many damn questions when I'm watching the show, because they just diverted from the path that the comics went on. And Dan, I hope you saw this, because I'm taking this overlay down now. But anyway, how you guys feel about Miss Marvel? You got anything to say at all? I know Kendall's watching it and loving it. I just don't know if anybody else is, because I'm not seeing anybody talk about it anymore. It got a little bit overshadowed by Kenobi. And I don't know, I think we're also in the middle of the summer, and really kind of the first summer for a lot of people to actually get out and just do something. You know, that's how I've been the last couple of weeks. So honestly, why I haven't been putting videos out recently, just because I've just been enjoying myself, man. Gonna do some camping this weekend. I might not have crazy amount of videos coming soon, but we'll have that live drive home for tomorrow night after Thor. What we got here? Be Grissom. That's what I need to hear. I'm so behind in MCU stuff. Still have to watch Doctors. Oh my God, Be Grissom. Oh my God. You got to get up on it, man. Lots of cool stuff happening. And honestly, I don't even feel like Miss Marvel can be spoiled. Like, because there's still so many damn questions. Like, I'm not going to jump in. Yeah, I mean, the questions I have are things you just, not even really a spoiler, bro. Well, all right, just since B. Grissom's here, I'm sorry, man, you're going to rough through it. Where we're at now, right? Like I just said, episode 5, we learned her great-grandmother's backstory, find out the whole deal what went on then. And we kind of get a gist by the end of the episode that the main antagonist is kind of shifting to Department of Damage Control. We got a little glimpse of them in the last Spider-Man movie. And then we get what they're doing here. Robin, Tony, I mean, remember, they took Tony Stark's technology for the most part. And now they just blew up poor Bruno's line of business with a drone. Aimed at Cameron, but missed entirely and hit a different floor. So figure that one out. Clearly not as good a shot as Iron Man was. But we're still looking at just one bangle. Remember, they mentioned there were 2 in the beginning. So I'm wondering if we're going to find anything there. Kamran, my bad. It's not Killer Cam. Kamran has some powers now through like the weirdest means possible. His mom, that wasn't using any powers at all, didn't look like anyway during the show, just kind of transfers some energy into him and makes him super powered. I'm really confused by that. That's kind of my biggest head scratcher of this show, really. That one take right there, or that scene. I'm not sure what the hell is going on with that. And remember the one bangle we got, we still don't even know what kind of tech that is. There's you dodging Thor spoilers? I don't got any Thor spoilers, bro. I'm waiting to see it tomorrow. So don't worry about that. We're still going to talk about it, though. But yeah, we got the one bangle. They talked about there being 2. They found it on a floor with 10 rings insignia on it in 1942, it looked like. So what the hell is going on? It seems like they're just throwing a ton of stuff at us to just make a crazy amount of guesses. And like, I don't even know if Marvel knows where they want to go with it, but I don't know. So they find it on it looks like a Kree hand too. It's a blue hand. So we're guessing Kree. I don't know what the hell else would have been there. They're straying so far away from the Inhuman origins that I don't think anybody knows what the hell is going on. Yeah. And despite all of that, if you really think about it, this show might possibly have the least amount of work to do in its final episode of any MCU series to date. Like, think about where we were for WandaVision going into the sixth episode. Wow. Think about where we were Falcon Winter Soldier going to the sixth episode. Think about Loki going to Loki, maybe a little bit more clear cut, but we were still really confused. I'm just thinking about Moon Knight going to the sixth episode. Whole lot that had to happen there. This show is pretty much covered almost all its bases, except where exactly that bangle came from and how it's tied into the rest of the MCU. And then we got some Department of Damage Control stuff going on. I'm fully expecting somehow that we get Captain Marvel to show up at the end of this episode or in a post-credit scene. Something has to lead into either that or Secret Invasion. I believe Secret Invasion comes first. So, I don't know. Also, a lot of talk that it may be leading into She-Hulk, because She-Hulk appears to be working at the same building as Department of Damage Control, or at least visits it. So, a lot that could be going down. I even heard some theories that maybe this is their way with Department of Damage Control coming in and kind of like seeking out like young heroes of trying to find a way to tie in Kamala's Law into the MCU. And basically like they felt like the Sokovia Accords didn't work. So their new approach is they need to go out and stop younger superheroes from being superheroes without registering. No idea. But I think honestly, if you're not giving this show a chance, you're missing out. And I know a lot of people are like, it's not the segment for me. Hey, you know what? It's not exactly my segment either, but it's still interesting. So with that being said, let's move on and talk about The Boys, because this show has been absolutely nuts. Like every single episode this season has been good. And I've talked to people that have been like trying to get into that show, but never made it past like the first season, which kind of boggled my mind. But this show's been lit this season. Like it's with like maybe one or two exceptions, been an amazing show, man. That's what I'm talking about, B. Grissom. Like we're watching Homelander lose his damn mind, except at the end of this last episode, now he's got looks like a new ally. My only nitpicks at it is because I've never even read these comics for The Boys. I was never into that. It was kind of fringe to me, even though it seems pretty cool. I might have to go back and start checking them out. But from what I know about them, Black Noir's character seems like he's nothing like in the comics, unless we're totally missing something, which I don't think we are. Herogasm, they put out in a much smaller scale than what happened in the comics, because the build-up for that this season sounded like it was going to be something way larger than it really was, and we ended up getting. In the comics, Herogasm is this big annual event that like all the heroes went to. They would basically just lie to the public, tell them they were going to like fight some battle off-world, and then basically just be going to a hotel room in like a private island, banging, doing their thing, you know. But we didn't really get that in the show. We got like more of like an underground event, you know, like a black market Comic-Con, kind of like Avenger Con that we got in Miss Marvel. Beyond that, so I talked about we got Soldier Boy giving us that revelation at the end of this last episode. He's Homelander's daddy. So who knows if maybe he misinterpreted that. Could go a different way. I still think there could be another twist with that. Maybe he's even just deceiving him. I don't know. We also got Butcher and Huey looking like some 10 feet addicts. Butcher being the pusher, Butcher the pusher at this point, because he's keeping Huey on it, not letting him know about the real repercussions that Scarlight goes in and discovers in the notes as she's rolling into Vought Industries, because Starlight pulls a fast one on Homelander at this point, rolls up into Vought Industries, secures the bag for Kimiko so she can get her powers back, and then keeps her phone recording in her pocket And at first, when I saw her do this, I thought, maybe she's just messing with him. Like, she's not really streaming to Insta. But if she is, and they talk about it, they reference it later. So Starlight going off, doing her thing this episode. I do have a theory, though, that I don't think Kimiko is going to be the one that takes that compound V. I think her and Frenchie going to talk themselves out of that. And I got my eyes on Mother's Milk. I want to see what happens with this dude. And maybe potentially he becomes superpowered. I'm also thinking with the Tempe situation, there's going to be some kind of twist with that. And my first thought when they started taking it is maybe this isn't exactly temporary like they thought. Maybe they're going to start becoming like more and more superpowered. It's going to stay permanent. Either way, we're going to find out if I'm right or wrong. But we did a little catch up here. I just wanted to glance through The Boys, Ms. Marvel, Stranger Things. But the main event this week, by far, is Thor, Love, and Thunder. It's trending right now, so I guess the hype is there. We will find out how the sales do. The reviews were coming up kind of weird. It was like a little bit better than mixed. I believe the last time I saw it was hovering around like high 60s, high 70s from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. These are people that watched it already. But from some of the things I'm reading, I'm hearing a lot of it's a MCU's first rom-com. I'm also hearing that the story could be lacking. It's not as good as Ragnarok. However, the acting in it is enough to carry it. That seemed to be the trends in sorry, cough for you guys here. That seemed to be the trend in a lot of the reviews that I've been reading. And the Gore character is supposed to be like absolutely phenomenal from everything I'm reading. That he's not just like a Michael Myers type dude. He's actually empathetic as well. So I'm real hyped for Thor. I can't wait to get into that. We've been built up with all these deities in Moon Knight, in Wakanda in the past. Even a lot in just Ms. Marvel. I'm interested to see how much, if any of that, ties into Thor. I'm really thinking too about just the fact that I don't know. I don't know if I want Gore to live through this or I want him not to. I've seen some stuff out there about his origins too, about how the MCU might make him come into existence. Haven't been diving into crazy spoilers because I wanted to actually approach a movie without any of that this year. It's been leak city, I feel like, all year. OG's apprehensive about it. I feel like a little bit too, but at the end of the day, I think whether or not this is like upper caliber MCU, it's at least going to be a fun time with Taika Waititi as the director. I do like his style, so as long as he doesn't get way too out of hand and too into himself, this movie, I think it's going to be a good watch. Yeah, I'm liking. I did hear one spoiler actually about one of the post-credit scenes. I believe there's 2 total. Not going to get into that. Not going to ruin it for nobody. But it sounds like there's some cool stuff coming down the pipe. This is officially, I believe, the last movie of Phase 4 for the MCU. So, wrapping it up. And hopefully we're going to start getting into like what the real shenanigans are for this this next saga of MCU movies and shows now too. It's just crazy how far we've come. We were in the beginning, we were getting like 1 movie a year. Now we're getting like 3 to 4 movies a year, and we're getting TV shows around every turn. We got huge stuff coming up even after Thor. She-Hulk and Andor running at the same time with an overlap of the Bad Batch in September as well. It's gonna be crazy. A lot of stuff to talk about. I might have to just be doing more streams and less edited videos just to keep up, to be honest with you. Although I do have a lot more fun with the edited videos, not gonna lie. Not that I don't like chilling with you guys, but get to be a little bit more artistic. So maybe I can try to mold that into the streams a little bit more. OG brought up the fact that I was just overlooking the most important Godfather line of all time. So we're gonna be mixing that into the intro soon. And I want to tailor like some cold opens into the live streams the same way as I do with the edited videos, so you guys have something to look out for when that starts. But yeah, man, I'm on to about 31 minutes here. It go like about 10 minutes longer. I know my boy Kendall's gonna be streaming tonight, I believe, at about 10:30 over on his stream, Normies to Nerds. So go check him out there. I'll probably blow him up in the comment section as well. Maybe if you guys yell at him enough, he'll have me on. Either that or I'll just go play some 2K. But I'm gonna be doing my normal thing that I do for just about every movie I go see now, because my movie theater is about 15 minutes away, and I can dock my phone right up on the dashboard. We'll be having that live drive home from Thor: Love and Thunder. If you're not able to catch it, because I'm going to see it 10 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be getting out at about midnight. If you're not able to catch it that night, tune in for the morning. It's completely spoiler free. I don't ruin it for anybody. If anything, I'll go into the Discord and talk in the spoiler section there afterwards for people that saw it too. But we'll definitely shy away from any spoilers right after I leave the movie theater. You'll see some emotion out of me. Maybe we'll get the the vibe of it, but promise to not ruin it for nobody. I mean, I usually don't even have enough time. If I am talking longer, that's when I'm struggling to not get into the spoilers. Damn, you got an hour drive to the movie theater? Oh, gee, that's crazy. Crazy stuff. I'm not in the boondocks, man. I'm in a pretty populated area, I guess. But yeah, man, this is where we're at. I've literally got like 2 or 3 videos where they're either recorded or I have the script completely written and I just gotta start editing. Really big on the Young Avengers thing that I see. I mean, everybody sees happening. And later, OG, my bad if I miss your leave at the end. But I'm working on Young Avengers Children's Crusade video that I'm going to put out. I keep saying I'm going to put it out soon, so I don't know exactly when. I'm going to be doing a camping trip on Friday afternoon. So editing this week will be kind of tough if I can pull it off. Thursday night, I'm going to be up super late just watching Thor, so might not be able to get around to doing anything until like Sunday. So maybe Monday morning I'll put out an edit about Thor, my thoughts on that. That'll be enough time for most people to watch it over the weekend too, all you late adopters. But yeah, first stream back, and just wanted to hang out with you guys before I play some 2K. Let you know my thoughts on some of the stuff that came out that I haven't had a chance to talk about. And yeah, it's been a carefree, chillax July. But you put it out there one last time in the chat. Hit up that new Discord if you're not there already. Promise you it'll be a fun hang. And just one other way to make sure you don't ever miss a new video, to be honest, or a tweet. And yeah, man, that's what we're about. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for joining the family. This is Nerd Mafia. And I'll see you back on tomorrow night or the day after, whenever you decide to watch that video. But make sure you do. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to about 250 now. I think we're at about 190 subs. Big progress over the past month or two. And yeah, man, let's keep this thing grinding. Have a good night. Have a good week if I don't talk to you. And keep watching all that nerdy shit. Later, everybody.